It's donut time. In today's video, we are making donuts. I took Gemma from biggerbolderbaking.com's no knead donut recipe, and we tried it two ways. We've got one kiddo who is gluten-free in our house and one that can have gluten, so we decided we were going to try this recipe and make it both gluten-free and make it with regular gluten-y flour and compare the results. So let me show you what we did and what we found as we went along. But these are two pictures side by side of the gluten and the non-gluten. Can you tell the difference? One of the things I really liked about this recipe was that it took honey instead of just regular sugar to be a sweetener. So this is me showing you all the amazing ingredients, which you can see when you look at the recipe. But yeah, uses honey instead of regular. I got my 2 bowls there. This is the gluten-free flour we use. We use the Bob's Red Mill 1-to-1 baking flour. And then we used this, what is it, self-rising enriched flour. I think I was supposed to use all-purpose flour, but truth be told, we did this during quarantine times when flour was hard to come by, and so we were happy to get what we could. So here I am mixing all the dry ingredients, the wet ingredients. I can speed this part up because this is just what you're going to see. It is a bit time consuming because there is a step where you have to stop. You have to let it rise for 2 to 3 hours at room temperature. And then once that happens, you put it in the fridge for 12 hours. So it was definitely something that wasn't like a one-day project. You had to really plan for it and prepare for it. Another really cool thing was that because we ended up making 2 batches of dough and we made half of each, we had dough left over to make another batch that we just stuck in the fridge and saved. So that's what's happening here. You're seeing I've let it, boy, let me tell you, when you lift this off, that you get a hit in the face with that yeast, poof, right in the face. But anyway, so this is the dough. And this is the other one. So this is after it's been chilled and everything like that, because I'm about to show you what it looks like when we cut it apart, because when we took a chunk of it, it definitely looked different. It definitely worked differently when we were rolling it out, when we were cutting with it. I can see that it's about to switch over so I can show you. So here we've got this, this is the regular dough, and it was really sticky. So, I mean, we were able to work with it okay, but we had to use a lot of extra flour to flour the surface and flour the rolling pin because it was quite a bit stickier. So some of the cookie cutters, it was a little more challenging peeling it off and all this good stuff. So here we are making our icings. So we made chocolate icing, strawberry icing, and just regular sugar icing. Oh, so much for just having honey, people. Now we're going full on powdered sugar. It's the little things, right? It's the little things. So here's our glaze, just regular glaze. This is the chocolate one that we made for the chocolate ice donuts. And then this is the strawberry glaze. And once the regular donuts came out, we glazed them and iced them. It was best to do it warm, so it gave it a nice like crackly glaze and really crusted onto it nicely. So these are the regular donuts that came like the regular flour ones. We didn't use too much food coloring for the pink ones, but they tasted nice because we put some strawberry extract in our icing. So this is that portion, more icing of the donuts, which was super fun. It was really a fun project. So they came out really good, and they were really quenching our donut taste that we need. We were like really wanting donuts at this point. They were a bit cakey, which was okay by me because I love cake donuts. So here you can see this is the regular donut. It's kind of cakey, but overall, I mean, it was somewhat fluffy, and it may have been because I used the self-rising flour instead of all-purpose. Now, here is the dough with the gluten-free flour. You can see it's a lot more crumbly. However, it was a lot easier to work with when we were rolling it, when we were cutting it. It wasn't quite as sticky. And here you can see this is the half that I'm saving for, save for later. And see, we were able to cut out our shapes a lot easier. They peeled off of the cookie cutters a lot easier. So those are the gluten-free ones. And as you can see, they didn't quite rise very much at all. They barely even got a bit of a brown to them when they were finished, which was fine again as well. Once they were out of the oven and nice, still nice and warm, we started icing these. And as you can see, the chocolate, I mean, they just look so delicious. Come on now. They look so delicious. Apparently I couldn't get enough of photographing these beautiful donuts. They just looked so good. The chocolate ones especially. All right, so here is what they look like on the inside because the dough is a little more dense. So you can see it's not quite as fluffy. It's definitely more cakey on the inside, but they were still really, really delicious. And especially for my guy that's gluten-free, it hit the spot. Let me know if you try a different gluten-free donut recipe or if you go try this one. We really liked this one. It was fairly easy, even if it was a bit time-consuming, but it was something that we would definitely do again. And I will link that recipe down below so that you can give it a try for yourself. And yes, we had such a nice time icing these donuts. That chocolate icing looks really delicious. You need more. Going back in, getting some more.